Hey, what's up, guys? Peace and blessings. Welcome to my live real talk with your girl, Lady D. Let me go ahead and get situated and make sure that I got a mic check. Okay, look like everything is good. How are you guys doing? Welcome to Real Talk with your girl, Lady D. Yes, indeed. So let me make sure everything is clear. So I see that Miss Ann Prophet came in. She says both because I see the title. The title says, "Is Melometer's concern about Martell's parenting, or is Arionne's assistance, being the stepmom, the issue?" And she said both, which is absolutely true. But guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing great. It is very beautiful down here in my neck of the woods. My husband getting ready for the Super Bowl. You know how it is. He's a 49ers fans. So I'm gonna see if I'm gonna come on tomorrow. But I got a house full because everybody's going to be here tomorrow. So I want to go ahead and do some taping, but you guys likes to go ahead and dox people. I see my girls in the house, logical speak. Let me go ahead and let her up. Yes, indeed. I was coming on yesterday, guys, but the other day I had a little small surgery. It was just an outpatient. They wanted to go ahead and put a scope down my throat and do a biopsy to see, why I get hoarse. So let me go ahead and let Lige up, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna chop it up. Yes, indeed, guys. Welcome. Make sure you go and hit like, comment, and share these videos or however you feel led, guys, for more unapologetic content. So I'm waiting for Logica to come in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get into my commentary. So yeah, we got a lot we want to go ahead and talk about, guys. We're gonna talk about, so I see Logica's in. Hey, my girl.
Hey, how are you, Lady D?
Girl, I'm doing better. Yesterday, girl, I wasn't doing good at all.
I was thought about you all yesterday. How did your procedure go?
Well, it went pretty good. I won't know the test until the 20th.
Okay, okay,
So the 20 they did our what you call that, the scope to look down and stuff like that.
okay.
So I won't know until the 20th. So everything is good. I had parathyroid surgery. Just wanted to know why I get so hoarse all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but all is well. All is well. My husband getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Oh,
Super Bowl.
wow.
Yes. And
Yes.
he has a very, very huge family. I mean, his family is very big. He come from a family of 17.
Oh my goodness. Oh my.
Yes, and they are very, very close. Now, when it comes to my family is very, very small. With me makes four, but we sort of like Melody and her family, all snooty, but his family, they like Miss Wanda family. They know how to get together. They don't care what holiday. They even will make up a holiday just to get together.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yes. So how was your day?
So far, so good. I'm not gonna complain. I'm gonna cook early and just get ready probably for tomorrow, preparing some food today so I don't have to worry about cooking tomorrow. If my sons
Okay.
come over, they'll have something to eat. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, but it's gonna be a great day.
I hear that. Put your look, get into the mic a little bit. You're a little lower.
I'm a little
You're a little
low.
low. Yeah, you
Okay,
kind
let
of
me
low.
raise it a little bit. Is that better?
Let me say something.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's quite better. But I'm going to do this disclaimer. Let me go ahead and say this copyright disclaimer is under Section 107 of the Copyright Acts 1976. Allowance is made of fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. And the reason why I'm saying that, guys, because Lodge, it got a lot of channels are being striked, which you already know they didn't hit me so many times, right?
Yeah, I saw that today. So
Wait,
many. Can you hear me?
uh-huh.
So
Yeah, I
a
can hear
lot
you.
of content creators have been getting strikes in the last 48 hours.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, We knew at some point this was going to happen.
Yeah, they know it's like you going to use people content and then tear them down with their own content. Make it make sense.
Yeah. I don't understand why they don't understand why they're getting, the strikes, using the content, and then dogging the people out, and then think these people are supposed to be happy.
Thank you.
That is crazy. But
Thank
we knew
you.
at some point they would have to pay. At some point.
Yes. Yes,
Yep.
because it doesn't make no sense. You cannot use people content, go and slum on these people page, and especially when it comes to Arionne, you know how they dog her out, and then they say they don't want to own the show. They calling on all out her names, Callers King going down to Huntsville and stirring up the crowd, and getting these people all riled up, calling the coleslaw, but yet they take the content and monetize on their channel. Come on, guys, you can't have it both ways. This is not Burger King's, okay?
Yeah, it's gonna be a mess. I mean, they're demonetizing their channel, so they're not making no money. And then I don't
Yes.
know how many strikes you can get. They say one person got 8 different strikes.
Wow, 8?
That's what I heard today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Um, because I think that you only can have like 6. After 6, they'll go ahead and take your channel from you.
Oh wow.
Yes. Because it took a long time for me to get my channel back. It was like 6, I think it was like 6 months before I had gotten my channel back.
Oh wow. I know.
Yeah.
I saw another content creator. I won't say her name.
Mm-hmm.
She read a email that she received stating
Mm-hmm.
that she couldn't even start a new. You know how they start several different channels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if she does start another channel, they're gonna take them all down. Excuse me.
All right.
God, let me send him a message. So yeah, a lot of them are planning to start focusing on different shows and kind of get up off of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a good idea.
But the thing about it is, and I'm a witness, they're not going to let you because most of the people that come on, they there because of that show or because of drama. I tried so many times where I went ahead, and when I was talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, and my channel was doing real good when I was talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, but when I decided to stop talking about that particular show, my numbers started going down. I started losing subscribers, and people was telling me, you need to elevate yourself. You need to talk about stuff that is meaningful.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, I'm going to talk about elevate myself. I even did a survey, and these people, they say they was going to support you, but they're not going to support you.
Wow.
No, they're not going to support you. And I was saying, even when it comes to this channel, I said it recently, should I just go ahead and, just use this, just for entertainment and start another channel, and talk about something that I'm passionate about, especially when it comes to, waking my people up. You remember when I was talking about that, right?
Yeah, I do.
But people, like I said, people, especially when it comes to our people, we so fixated, when it comes to these reality shows where, we are not going to think out of the box. We don't even want to hear nothing else but, when it comes to these reality shows. But when it comes to now your channels are being attacked,
Hmm.
uh that right there is, to me, is where you draw the line. You draw the line, but you also have to be careful how you allow your platform to be evil spoken of, because you cannot use these people content and then you want to go ahead and you want to talk mad noise about them. And another thing that YouTube don't like, they don't like you using content off of YouTube. And that's another thing. Most of them, they getting all their information from other content creators.
Okay.
Just like they went out and researched to get that information, they want you to go out there and research and get that type of information, because what it does, Lodge, when you go into your YouTube studio, you're going to see everybody is using the same content. You see?
Yeah.
and they call that traffic.
Oh,
So that's when they're going to go ahead and call it reuse. Now, if they go on other sites, like TikTok, or go on Instagram, or other outlets, then they can pull those clips out there, because long as it's within the copyright guidelines, right?
okay.
Yes, that's how YouTube go ahead and do it. But if you using everybody, content, and you passing it down, and you opening it up, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to allow that, because you might as well to say, well, why don't you go to such and such channel?
Mm,
Then then you putting it on your channel. You kind of get where I'm talking about, right?
yeah, I kind of follow you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Now, I'm not too familiar with the usage of YouTube. Um,
Hmm.
besides, resources that I are interested in. I just got into the YouTube for reality TV in the last 6 or 7 months. Prior to that, I would just research stuff on YouTube.
Yes.
I've been into reality TV for a while, but this is all new to me, basically, probably because of Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Hmm.
Um, but I got into the social media of YouTube. I think it was this particular
Yeah.
show. You know,
But you see, YouTube is really designed to advertise your brand. Not to sit
hmm
there and just come on and you just gonna make it like a tabloid
right?
gossip site. It's not by that. When you
That's
come on, they want to know. Especially when they put commercials on your channel. Are
yeah,
you using it? To promote your brand, or is
yeah,
it YouTube friendly? But the way that these people are coming in and out, and the thing about it, Lodge, they are blaming the Scots. No, you barely would see people making videos talking about the Scots in a positive light. If anything, they are tearing down, right?
right. Absolutely. They do believe that it's the Scots or Carlos King that's striking them, but they're not sure. It could
Hmm.
be Melody. How do they know?
Yeah,
There's two
because look,
sides of them.
I don't know if you saw this article right here, but this article I had pulled, and this saying, for I guess they was directing it to the Melometers.
Uh huh.
And it says right here, I hate to see all the content creators. Now, I don't know if she wrote this, or the Melody. I don't know, but this is what someone had pulled and put on a page. It says that I hate to see all the content creators having strikes being put on their channel due to commentary they made on Love and Marriage in Huntsville. Did you read that one?
Yeah, I thought that came from one of the fan clubs.
Okay, and also it says the majority of the videos that were struck had to do with the Scots
Mhm.
IMO when doing your commentary. So I guess they need somebody to blame, right?
Yeah.
And then also it says, so don't risk your channel on these folks. When Mel was getting drugged all across YouTube and social media, she wasn't striking channels. Now, never had to fake or fog. She took it on the chin and kept it pushing. And you know good and well that is an absolutely lie. That is an absolute lie, because most of the content creators that came on board, they was lifting up Melody. They was
Right.
not
They
sitting
was
there
supporting
coming
her.
against Melody.
Yeah.
You will see a handful of people that will go against the grain.
A couple.
Thank you.
Most of them were favorable to her. So why would she strike their channels? You know. But it could be the Scots. I mean, because they have really been giving Tisha the blues. I mean, just dragging
Yes.
her and Marcel on their expo. Anything Tisha does, her speech, her character, her clothing, what she got on, her house, their business, they have really been giving them the blues.
Hmm.
And it's not fair. Oh, and the other one that gets a lot is Martell, of course.
Yes.
Martell and Tisha get the most of the hate.
Yes.
So it's about time that they start striking. And it could be Carlos King because actually the fans are ruining the show. That's the reason
Hmm.
why I don't pay to watch it
Absolutely.
because of the fans, not because of Melody, because of the fans and how they run her up and tear down everybody else. I will not pay for it until it stops.
Absolutely. Nicole Gibbons says, "Good afternoon, Lady D and Logica. Anyone who didn't like the gas meters, those content creators always struck channels." And that was absolutely true.
Yeah, yeah,
That's absolutely true, you know. And now they trying to push it and shove it on someone else, but they are the ones that did the most.
yeah, yeah. They're the ones that tore down the fans and made people walk away. Not the Shirley,
Absolutely.
not the Scotts, not Melody. It's her fans, and I know she knows it by now.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hi, Nicole. I dropped the link in case you want to come up. If you want to come up, you are welcome to come on.
yeah, Nicole.
Yes, but girl, this, like I said there and say, this right here, this is a lot.
Yeah,
But the topic that I have is I don't know if you familiar. I know you are familiar with Shahrazad Ali.
yeah.
Make sure you guys go and get her book because I want to go over her book. I think mine should be coming in maybe about next week, but I want to go ahead and talk about it because
Hmm.
you know a lot of stuff that she talked about, it to me, even though the book is like 30 years old, but the nuggets are still well alive today. And I think we could take a few pages from what she put out. Let me go ahead and let Nicole up. Hi, Nicole.
Good afternoon, Miss Lady D and Miss Logical. Thank you for having me on the panel. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all.
Yeah. How you been, Nicole?
I've been okay. What I wanted to say though is everyone who got struck deserves it because anytime you run a background check on someone, you know how it says in small print you're not supposed to release private or personal information for malicious intent.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what
Yes.
their credit report and what their backgrounds have to do with the show.
Not
Absolutely.
nothing.
And
You
then
see
you
what I'm
talked about
saying?
it. You had talked about that. You remember when we was talking about that the other day when you were
Yes,
saying
ma'am.
these people is certain things that you can talk about, when you looking up people background and certain
Yes,
stuff
ma'am.
that you cannot. You remember you said that?
Yes, and what I'm saying is you can't be specific. If you are say like you look at someone's background, you can't specify the amount that they owe or their specific judgments. You can say, well, upon doing research, there are a lot of outstanding debts. Or these people have outstanding debts, but
Mm.
you can't be specific. But if you're doing it for malicious intent, yeah, everything is public information. But if you're releasing information for to harass, stalk, or for malicious intent, that is illegal.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that
You
is.
can't do that. So, what does their personal information or where they're holding the expo have to do with the show?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, I
To
agree.
me, it's a form of bullying.
It is.
It is.
Exactly. That's my whole point. And now I was listening yesterday and being messy, and all of them were mad about being struck. But see, let me tell you something, Miss Logical, Miss Lady D. Just like when they talk about what the Sun stated regarding what Martell's been asked to do in the
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
courts, that's a violation of HIPAA privacy laws. You
Yeah.
can't
Wow.
discuss people's medical information. I looked it up before I came on here. You cannot discuss people's medical information with anyone. Not healthcare professionals are not supposed to, and neither are private citizens. They can't do that. If I was
Absolutely.
Martell, I would just sit around and strike like I was a baseball player. I ain't playing. It would be three strikes you out.
Right. And that's the
You
thing
right.
too
You
is
right.
that one person
Absolutely.
got
And the Scots, if they're doing it, I hope they continue to do it because you're not.
Mhm.
They those same people would be upset if you were to pull their backgrounds and read about their background.
But they
absolutely.
saying it's not people. They saying it's coming directly from the network. So I guess they must have went
Mm.
to the network and told them what's
Yes,
going on.
I agree. I agree. I really agree. Just like when they held that little private function in Huntsville with Carlos and the gas meter. What I'm thinking is the other cast members said, we're not even going to deal with Carlos. We're going to go straight to the network executives
Yeah.
and let
Wow.
them know that the content creators are the ones that are causing a lot of the division and at the direction of the gas meter. And I believe that they're like, okay, if you guys see something or if you guys notice something, actively strike. Like I was saying the last time I came on the panel. And they need to continue to do that. And they act like whatever Martell was asked to do, because I'm not going to do anything to specify and get your channel, whatever they ask Martell to do, Martell has the right to request that of that individual as well. The
Absolutely.
last thing I want to state is that what makes me so mad is that she releases or allegedly someone is releasing the information to the paper, to the Sun, because they're not sitting in the courtroom, right? The gas
Right.
Absolutely.
meter, or allegedly, I'm assuming that the head of that particular fan base got upset because when he released that private footage, that
Mhm.
systematically destroyed her image. So,
Mm-hmm.
allegedly the head of the fan base got upset, and then she wants to, let everybody know how, you know, unstable he is. But check this
Supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
out. In the process of her doing that, you know what I'm saying? When I was listening to what the other content creators were specifying, okay, about, oh, he, abused the children or AB the children, or he acted improperly with the children. What got me is that if you feel that way and you're any content creator, you should
You're breaking up, Nicole. Nicole, girl, we need to hear this.
I
But
know.
like I said, she gonna come back on. I guess her mic. She having mic problems.
Right.
So just come in. Just come in whenever your mic is together. But like I say, we talk about it all the time, right, Lodge? You never win when you
We
play
do.
dirty.
You never win. You're gonna lose. I
Absolutely.
think Nicole is about to say, if he was such a problem, why
right,
isn't there a restraining order?
right,
Absolutely. Go ahead, Nicole.
exactly. And I just feel like at this point, I feel like it's all being exaggerated, because when that footage was shown, regardless of whether you like the person or not, that systematically destroyed her image. All
Hmm.
that, God said go, and, all the religious speeches, that are made,
Hmm.
you kind of look at somebody sideways when you see certain things. You see what I'm saying? But
Absolutely.
also, not questioning someone's motherhood or their parenting style. If I felt like my kids were in danger, I wouldn't release anything to the papers. I wouldn't
Yes.
release anything to my fan base while you sit on the reunion stage and scold someone for, oh, you released all this information to bloggers. That parent, in fact, did the same thing. If I feel like my kids are in danger, forget a fan base,
Absolutely.
forget what I released to the press. When my babies got home, I'm gonna call Child Protective Services,
There you
have a
go.
worker come out and interview my kids and let my kids
Absolutely.
speak. I'm so afraid of A, B, C, D, and let the authorities handle it. So
Absolutely.
she's
Absolutely.
not stupid. So if that was actually the case, why not contact Child Protective Services and get this settled?
Yeah,
Absolutely. What
absolutely.
the fans gonna do but make it bigger? The
Well,
fans not gonna do nothing but make it bigger. I see T Jones
Exactly.
say hello. T Jones is say
Hello.
hello, my sweet
hello.
ladies.
Good
Ladies.
afternoon, ma'am.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
the fans supposed to do but stir it up, make it worse.
That's
Well,
all they're doing is spinning a narrative, like
right.
Logical always says. That's all they doing.
Hmm.
She's drumming up more fan support in order to, have them buy more. One girl said, since this is going on,
Look, you got a feedback, Lodge. Get into
do
your
I?
mic.
I
Say
have
something.
feedback. I have feedback.
Conda. Say something again.
I was just saying it's for financial gain for her. They were speaking about buying up
Hmm.
all of her products because of him posting the videos.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Uh.
really matter.
Mm-hmm.
No, they can buy everything.
Fix your mic. Because I want to hear your. I want to hear your point of view. Lodge. Fix your mic.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I will be silent for a while to see what happens. Go ahead.
Okay. But make sure you fix it so we can hear what you got to say. Okay.
I actually hear the echo.
Go out and come back in.
Okay, I'll do that.
All righty. Oh, go ahead, Nicole.
Well, that's what I'm basically saying. It doesn't really matter how many products were purchased at this point, because once, and I'm going to stress this, once certain footage was released, everybody's looking at that individual sideways. So you notice, if you're really looking at it, after that happened, she probably was like, okay, well, I'm going to do the same thing to him. And then she released his private medical information to the son, or allegedly someone from that camp released his private information because the press was not sitting in the courtroom. So
Absolutely.
somebody leaked that information to that particular media outlet,
Mhm.
because that individual, I'm assuming, allegedly was upset at, the footage that was released via Tasha K on the show. And they're
Mhm.
like, well, I'm going to go ahead and, play tit for tat, and I'm going to go ahead and release this about him and make him look away. But if
Absolutely.
you have any kind of brain power, you would sit back and say, well, each parent, I've been through custody, each parent can release or request that from the court. Any parent can request an evaluation from the court. But to me, the reason why those kids still get to visit is because if you feel like, as a parent, that your kids are in danger, you're not going to go to the court. You're going to contact the authorities. If your kids
Absolutely.
come home and say, my daddy hit me and he did A, B, C, D to me, or my mom did A, B, C, D to me, any decent parent is not going to go to the court. They're going to call the police and make a formal
Absolutely.
report, especially if they want full custody.
Absolutely.
So she can miss
Lige
me with
says she
all
gonna
that.
stay in the chat. No, Lige, come up, girl. She
Come
saying she
on
gonna
back
stay
up,
in the
ma'am.
chat. No, Lige, we want you up. But
Yeah, we want
absolutely,
you up.
and like I said, you never win when you play dirty. And as you can
No.
see right now, it's like, I think that, she's trying to feed into her fan base, trying to get them to stir it up. But the
Yes,
thing about
ma'am.
it is that they only making it worse. To me, they're making it a worse.
Exactly. I
And
agree.
the question that I have, and I want to also ask logical, is the Melometer's concerned about, Martell's parenting, or is Arionne, assistant being the stepmother, is it an issue? And someone has said both, which it is true. But the thing
Hmm.
that I have about it, and that's why I want to go ahead and do a book, just do a story time, with
Yes, ma'am.
Shahrazad Ali. Are you familiar with her?
Yes, she
Okay.
always talk. My mother loved her back in the 90s. I believe she talks about a lot of the black structure of the family,
Mhm.
and why the family is suffering, and why the black nuclear family is suffering in the country. I love her and her commentary.
Yeah, and this book right here is like 30 years old, but the nuggets are still, it's just still well
Yes,
alive. And she made a
exactly.
question. She had a question. A lot of people, most was upset about it,
Hmm.
is when she talked about when you are in a relationship, is a feedback I hear.
It could be me. Let me turn my mic down.
Yeah, when you are in a relationship for over 2 years, you married and you are in another relationship for over 2 years, you don't consider as a side chick or a mistress, you consider as the other wife. And we already know, according to all the information that they went ahead and put out, that out of, they say Mel was married like 14, or then they say 12 years, but out of those years they say 10 or 8 years Ariane was in that marriage. So how the heck you going to tell me that out of the 8 or 10 years someone else been in your marriage and you did not know? Make it make sense. So you're not a side chick, you're not a mistress, you are a sister wife. What you think about that? Lodge, I see that Nicole, I had asked her a question, but I guess her mic dropped.
Yeah,
Did you hear the question?
no, I didn't. I could still hear the echo when you all were talking. So maybe it was
Yeah,
Nicole's mic that was so loud.
yeah, because I don't hear it now.
Okay.
But the question was, which you and I talked about it, so many times, and that's why I want to go ahead and, we're gonna do I'm gonna wait till the book come in, Shahraz Ali, when she had made this question, when you in a relationship over 2 years, you don't consider as a side chick or a mistress, but you consider as a sister wife. And Melody knew that for 10 or 8 years that Arionne was in her marriage, but she didn't say anything about it. And even Funky Dineva talked about it as well. It's like, she was comfortable, being, knowing that she had a sister wife in her relationship.
Right.
So how do you think about it?
Well,
Nicole, you there?
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Go ahead, Lodge.
well, I do remember Shahrazar Ali in her mindset on the Black family unit. The sister wife, after 2 years of Mistress being part of the unit as a sister wife, I'm not sure. I've got to dwell on that a little bit. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if the woman knows about her, like Melody did, I guess there is some. I guess you would have to look at it like that. If you know about a female and you stay in the marriage, I guess you would be considered. The other woman would be considered a sister wife.
I
Yeah.
agree.
You allow it to
Yeah.
happen. You allow it to continue and don't get out of it, or yeah. I guess I can see her point of view in that.
I
Yeah.
agree. Especially if it's a back and forth dynamic where you're still competing for this man.
Right.
Y'all know
Mm-hmm.
about each other. Sister wives still compete whether they live together with the man or not. A lot of people confuse, oh, I'm not involved with that or like that because we don't all live together. There are plenty of men that,
Mm-hmm.
have multiple just
Right.
like a lot of the Muslim people, regardless of, their race, they still deal with, or consider themselves married, not civilly in the
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
eyes of the law, but they'll, they don't stay together.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see
So it's the same dynamic.
I can see that, when you look at it like that. If you know about the
Hmm.
woman, I'm married to my husband. I know he has another family, another woman, and I don't divorce him. I have to agree. It does look
Exactly.
like a sister wife type of
Arrangement.
right, right, right.
That's it, because I don't understand how could you be in a marriage for almost 14 or 12 years, because they keep switching it, and
Mhm.
out of the 10 years you had someone in your marriage and you never knew. Make it make sense.
She
Yeah.
knew.
Look, quite obvious, she said it was no signs, so you must, where you was living in la la land
Well, she
to
said there
not
were one of
know.
many women. There wasn't. She said there were one of many women.
If it was, do you think that these bloggers would have came out with these other women?
Not really. I mean,
You
they
don't
try to.
you don't think they would have
No.
found that information?
I don't think so. I mean, because,
Hmm.
a lot of things get covered up for said individual. I mean, you don't
Hmm.
know a lot about her. I mean, there have been no, people that quote unquote don't view her that have come out. I saw her on one episode. You know her brother. You've seen a sibling on one episode, but you never see any cousins or what have you, because nobody digs for her personal information. They took everything she said at face value.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. The soul of the matter. Who want to take a crack at this right here? Soul of the matter. This is what she said. What's the reason you women dislike Melody?
I've expressed my issues with Melody so many times, but I'll go ahead and answer her question. It doesn't have anything to do with her as a person. It's the way she interacts with the people around her that I dislike. It's the way
Hmm.
she seeks her fan base on people that I dislike. Such as Tisha and Destiny, uh, even Martell. The way she comes after Marceau. Uh, that's what I don't like about her.
Hmm.
I
What
and,
about you?
I agree. She is a marketing genius. She's a
Hmm.
very attractive female. She seems to be a good mother. I don't
Hmm.
like the way she interacts with others and how she interacts with her fan base and have them to pick on and dog other people. I don't know if that answers the question for the soul of the matter, but that's my problem with Melody.
What about you, Nicole?
Okay. What I want to say is if you recall this past reunion, when Stormy and Miss Betty were interacting with said individual,
Mm-hmm.
and Stormy stated, you saw the remarks that were made on your whatever form of social media, and you saw it. And these people were contacting my business or vendors that I do business with, trying to, negatively affect my business, and you saw it.
Yeah.
And she denied it, like, oh, I don't see everything. To me, if someone were to systematically try to destroy her business in that way, the whole fan base would have been dogging whomever out. So what I don't like
Absolutely.
is that she feels like whatever she does is correct, and she's quick to critique everyone else. That's what I don't
Yes.
like.
There you
Yeah. And what I don't like about it is that I truly believe, if you knew that your relationship, your marriage was toxic, why would you put it on display for the entire world to pick it apart?
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
like I said, if you putting it out, you can't not tell people, how to sit there and dissect it. And also, what I don't like is that Melody, she didn't give us a chance to know everybody because she made this show all about herself from season one.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
talked about her personal business, all the stuff that happened, and it's because she put it out. Nobody else put her information out but her. Everybody was shocked. Even Carlos King was shocked about it,
Yeah.
and he was saying, I
Mm-hmm.
would thought that she would waited a few seasons and then talk about what had happened, but she put it out. And the thing about it is that she dragged in other families. She dragged in the Scots. Hurt people. Just because your marriage is toxic, that
Right.
does not mean that the Scots was ready to tell their marriage. You understand? And when she said that she got all this information off of YouTube, I was done with her. You ready to tear down the family just because you got information from other bloggers? Make it make
Exactly.
sense.
And now the soul of the matter, all those Mormons that are married in Utah, they're
Hmm.
not civilly married. Like, they don't go marry in a church 8 other people.
Right.
So it's
Absolutely.
very possible to be in a polygamous
Yes.
arrangement without being civilly married before a judge, because it's illegal, but people still do it without being formally married before a judge or magistrate or a
Absolutely.
priest or whomever. So it happens. It's just because people don't outright announce it, it does occur every day. Every
Absolutely.
day it occurs. If
Absolutely.
you're married and you know that this individual is, for example, let's use myself as an example. For years, the person I was involved with, I'm not trying to, make myself sound bigger. They were in a civil arrangement, and so was I. But
Absolutely.
the wife knew that he basically was taking care of both households. And while my ex-husband was in jail for assaulting his girlfriend, because he can't keep his hands off of people,
Hmm.
what was I supposed to do? This man came through. He liked me. His spouse was in another state, whom she left him for another woman. And he was taking care of the bills, buying for my kids, helping furnish the house. Was I going to turn him away because he was civilly married? No, I needed the
Hmm.
help at the time. Whether because I
Absolutely.
don't make a lot of money, but the wife knew and I knew. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And then eventually she got tired of, trying to, I guess, hold on to her husband. She wanted her husband and another woman. He wasn't cool with that. They divorced.
Hmm.
But
Absolutely.
it was not a civil arrangement. But I mean, this man was taking care of responsibilities at both homes. And like I tell my son, if you choose to do that, you need to be able to man up and take care of both households.
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Absolutely.
also, let me go ahead and say this. I wanted to play a clip of Shahrazad Ali when she talked about, once you've been in a relationship for over 2 years, is considered as a sister wife. And
Mhm.
that's the reason why I want to do research on this. And guys, make sure you go ahead and get this book. Order this book, Shahrazad Ali, The Black Man Guide to Understanding the Black Woman. And also she have the Black Woman Guide to Understand the Black Man. And I didn't order that book because I think we kind of understand the men. You see what I'm saying? The men sometimes just don't understand us. So make sure you guys go ahead and get that book. But I would love to play a little small snippet of what she said. But now that these people are striking channels, I'm not even going to play it. Okay, not
Oh,
now
Okay.
until I really do some more research with YouTube when it comes within that copyright guideline. But if you've been in if you've been married for almost 14 to 10 years, and out of half of that year somebody else been sharing your husband, you consider as a sister wife. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and break that down. And also uh, Judy Condor had she asked me a question. She says, Lady D, you watch all the season. If you don't, how can you speak on some of the things you are saying? I do watch it, and like I said, we all can gravitate, we all can pick something out,
right.
especially when it comes to these reality shows, because pretty much nothing changes. It's all the same. You understand? Tearing down the Black
Mhm.
family. So, I
Right.
don't think I missed the beat so far. And if I did, correct me of what I'm missing. I'm only calling out what I see, and that's real talk. You know,
Lady D, can I say something really
go
quickly?
ahead.
This
Hmm.
particular individual went back and forth with me in the comments, and all I wanted to ask her is if it had been any other cast member on the show, whether they were provoked or not, that displayed these kind of behaviors, would you would still critique that individual negatively? But
Hmm.
everything this person does is right. I don't care
Absolutely.
what it is. She
No.
could do a spree, go on a spree doing whatever to whomever, and nobody ever critiques her. They act like
Absolutely.
she's absolute perfection. And
That's
that's what
it.
I get upset about. If
Me
any of the
too.
other cast members had their fans doing, certain bullying people, or if they were on camera, trying to torch up living rooms, and if they were, calling people's mothers demons on stage,
Hmm.
I mean, the Melometers would, that's all they would be talking about for hours on end. But whatever this
Absolutely.
lady does is right. And that's
What?
just not normal, Miss Judy.
Well,
And
it's
even
called
Martell said the same
gaslighting.
thing. Martell
Exactly.
said things. Said when Melody was at the reunion, and she said, "That's why I beat your butt."
Right.
uh Martell said, if I would have said something like that, you guys would have called me out on it.
Exactly.
It's like just like with the
Exactly.
gasoline. This girl is dousing the couch and the floor with
Hmm.
gasoline with a lighter in her hand.
Right.
Anything could have happened. Accident happens
Exactly.
fast, right? Baseball
Exactly.
bats, golf clubs, plants. Now,
Hmm.
just say if that was Martell, they wouldn't have never sat there and allowed this man to get away with. They would have said,
Own it.
Mm-mm.
"Crucify him,
Own it.
crucify him."
Exactly. Exactly. Same thing with the other cast members.
Absolutely.
If they were to display that kind of behavior, they would be on doing 24-hour lives about it. But when it's
Absolutely.
her, oh, she was provoked. Provoked people get locked up too.
Oh,
I
most
was one of
Absolutely.
those individuals. My husband got made let them take me to jail because he got scratched. He did drop the charges. Now he was provoking me, and it pushed me. As I'm defending myself, the neighbors called the police. They saw a scratch on him. Yes, I was provoked because I got pushed, but I still got taken to jail. Now he did
Absolutely.
drop the charges. I was never formally charged or convicted, but they took me because they saw a scratch on him. So yes,
Absolutely.
even when you're provoked, you can be provoked, by someone calling you names, or, by somebody, cheating on you over and over again. But provoked people still go to jail. They just don't get, they may not get the same amount of time that someone who premeditated did. But because you're provoked does not exempt you from prosecution. But
Absolutely.
everything this woman does is right. If you flip it around and the other cast members did the same things, I'm telling you, Lady D and Miss Logical, they be doing lives for 24 hours and it wouldn't
Absolutely.
be behind no wall. But
Absolutely.
anything she does is justified as being right. And that's not normal to me.
And
Absolutely. Go ahead, Lodge. Let's see
they
what
don't
Lodge got to say.
realize
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
They don't realize that they've been brainwashed into idolizing her. They put her up on a pedestal. She does no wrong. I've heard them say they don't care what she do or who she does it to. They are still going to support her in her wrong, and that's what I have a problem
Hmm.
with. So they
Hmm.
say, so you ladies just like her because a group of women support her. Yeah, when you support her in her dirt and think that it's okay for her to be mean and dirty to other people, yeah, I'm gonna dislike her.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And also Letty Little John said, but there must be agreement between all parties. And what she's talking about, I guess she's talking about, I don't know what she's talking about when she say agreement between all party. If she's talking about marriage, the contract or whatever, like I said, some of this stuff right here, is because of financial gain, but if you really look at the original, how, all this stuff started, then you would understand why it is today, which polygamous is not for me, but like I said,
Neither.
when it comes to this generation right here, if they sitting there letting little children turn, from their sex change and all types of stuff is going
Yeah,
on.
it's
So I say,
crazy.
well, you got a man feel like he want more than one married, woman in his relationship, then everything else you legalize. Why don't you legalize that as well? But the reason why they're not going to legalize polygamy is because it's going to mess up with the money. The lawyers and the
Right. The
judges going
courts.
to be out of
Right.
business, because this is a money
Exactly.
racket. But our silly
But
sheeps
I
don't
will
see
say
nothing
this,
like
Miss
that.
Lady D. What like Farrakhan said, I love him when he said a lot of
Mhm.
the other religions don't call, what they do is they call it polygamy outright, but they practice the
Your mic
same
drop.
thing anyway.
But I don't know what she's saying, but a lot of stuff like this, guys, you just need to start researching and stop allowing these people, to tell our story. You'll see that we had, especially in Africa still today, they had a lot of polygamous, and polygamous is not because of having sex. It's
Hmm.
played a major
That
role in the
they
say it
basically.
again. Nicole, start all over because you had broke
Okay, what
up.
I was
Okay.
saying is what I'm sorry, what Farrakhan says is that other religions don't call it polygamy outright, but they practice the same thing anyway. I mean, when you actively know that your spouse is seeing someone in particular, you're
Hmm.
still sharing that individual. You might not call it outright as polygamy, but if you know this person is spending time and going on vacations and taking helicopter rides and you're still remaining married, then you know about said individual because you stay. There's no formal agreement because you can't go before a civil court and marry someone else, but you might as well be. And like I said, all those Mormons in Utah that have 50 kids and 8 wives, there's no way they would walk into a courtroom and do that civilly because it's illegal, but it's still done. And the only reason it's not prosecuted because they'd have to lock up so many people.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, let's check this one out. Letty Littlejohn says, "How do you women feel about Martell having the children around the woman that helped to break up their home?"
They were
That's the
around her
question.
anyway. They were, in fact, according to, the the his ex-wife, they had been around her anyway. She said it on the reunion stage. Well, how come every day, they every time they're over your house, she's there? Well, my whole thing is this: when you break up. In fact, the courts even still, permit visitation. When you break up, you have no choice. When you leave the family unit, you basically have to relinquish the kids, the minor children, to the other parent
Mm-hmm.
regardless to who they have around. Now you can request a background check
Mm-hmm.
of the individual that the parent, that the kids are around. But once they clear background check and they don't have a felony and nothing outright happens to your children when they're in
Mm-hmm.
care of the other parent, there's really nothing you can do about it.
I
So
agree.
once you
Absolutely.
left that family unit, you have no say.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, they're divorced now, and who he dates is up to him. As long as that person is not harmful to his children, we really can't say anything about who he's.
Mm-mm, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's the woman that was, part of the marriage dissolving, that's his
Mm-hmm.
choice. Just like she has a choice.
Right. Exactly.
Excuse me, to
Absolutely.
date who she chooses to date.
Absolutely.
Martell will have to, and if
Exactly.
she has the children around people that Martell disliked, he can't do
Of
Absolutely.
course, he doesn't agree with, lifestyles of her family members,
right.
Mm-hmm.
but he has no choice but to let them be around their uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, he has no choice. So if to me, that's my whole point with this. If
Mm-hmm.
he can raise concern about who his kids are around, it's like it doesn't matter. But when he has someone around that no one agrees with, it's a big deal.
Right. And that's a problem.
Right. That's my whole problem. Let's be fair. If you're going to, address concerns about said individual that he has around his kids, whether it was, the person who assisted in dissolving the marriage, or, someone from another show, or, a friend of his that had formerly been on the show, y'all act like when it's visitation, it's supposed to be with just him, and that's not realistic. But it's okay. It's not okay for Martell to not want his kids to be around their uncle because of the lifestyle he lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. But look what T. Jones says, and I talks about this all the time. Every time I talk
Yeah.
about this right here,
You
where
do.
T. Jones say at the end of the day, Mel sacrificed her family for fame. She had it all planned out. Martell fell into her plot, and this is how I
Hmm.
look at it. Because you could see
Agree
that
with
these
that.
children, they are used to being under Arionne. I don't think that, they just start going under Arionne, now I think that, from the beginning, because when Mel first had left out that house and stayed away from 6 months and he built a relationship with Arionne, who to say, when Mel was gone, on her hyenas, wherever she went, when she said, she had to go and get a piece where she had got a apartment or something like that, who to
Hmm.
say that Mel, not Ariane was helping Martell raise his kids. That's what I
Exactly.
think.
We don't know. We don't know.
So I,
I
I
mean,
think those
Mhm.
kids, they knew Ariane.
Yeah, he gets to date who he chooses to date, and she gets to
Yes,
date who she would like to date, and also take her children around the two people in her family that Martell is not in agreement. It's
absolutely.
but
that
what best way to get revenge than
oh
to, basically use a public platform to air out your spouse's what did they call that? Air out your
Discrepancy.
spouse's mistakes or indiscrepancies. What other platform would you? I mean, who wouldn't use a public platform to basically try to shame or embarrass their spouse if you're a vengeful person? Not every, some people like me, I would try to keep it on the low. I would let the press or people find out and comment on it. I wouldn't have, brought it to a public platform. But if you're a vengeful person and you're
Yes.
upset and you're angry, who wouldn't take advantage of a public platform to embarrass their spouse?
But I
and
think
I
she
believe
did
in
it, Nicole. I think she did it because she wanted to bank off her pain. I really do not
Yeah,
think, and like I said, this is my opinion, I really don't think that Melody really wanted to get back with Martell. I think she only did that just to pitch the show. And that's why she was able to lay it all down on season one instead of
I
waiting until
agree.
it play out. So I
I
really
agree.
think that she already had a motive. That's why I sat there and say you never win when you play dirty. Her
Exactly.
intention was to sit there and do exactly what she did today.
Of
But
course.
like I said, this is the outcome. This is the
Hmm.
outcome. You're going to be exposed.
here's a
Exactly.
good one, you all. Janet Johnson says, "Who are you females thinking it's okay for this man to be abusive. They were not around her before. Y'all are not using common sense. Now, Miss Janet Johnson, when and where has Martell been convicted of being abusive?
Thank you. So
Thank
don't
you.
say that on this channel, please.
Please
Please
don't.
do not unless he's been charged and convicted, or anyone has been charged and convicted. Just like when you
Absolutely.
hinted the Scots, being, allegedly being dubious with their expo. Unless someone's been charged and convicted, you can't maliciously defame or slander their character.
He's
So
Absolutely.
this man has not been convicted
no,
with
he has not.
anyone for being abusive. That's what the other parent alleges. And if the other parent really was concerned about it without trying to get all these optics and all this fan sympathy, when your kids come back to your house, call CPS and let a worker come out and talk to your kids. And so that would be basis for getting full custody. If you really
Absolutely.
wanted full custody without the drama, when your kids come home, call the 800 number for whatever child protective services is in your jurisdiction. A worker will come out, interview the kids. That report could be used in court as grounds for you to get full legal custody.
And
I'm
it's
glad
being
that
used
logic, Lodge. I'm glad that you called Lodge.
huh?
I'm glad that you called that out. Go ahead.
Well, I have one more thing I want to say to Miss Janet Johnson. She's accusing us of not using common sense. Miss Janet Johnson, in order to say this about this man, he needs to be convicted of it first. So
Exactly.
the
Absolutely.
common sense needs to go around. You need to sit down and think about it. You're
Hmm.
saying that he is a B type of person. He's not been convicted of that. So you need to think about it and use a little common sense.
Absolutely.
Okay? I'm done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are
Also,
absolutely. And I'm glad that this panel right here, this panel, one thing about us
we
is
tell
that,
everybody.
we're going to call it out because, we see clean through this and we're not going to allow people to assassinate somebody
No,
else's character and knowing that it's not right. First, you cannot sit there and come out and make these accusations about these people and they have not been convicted. It,
Don't
it
get
doesn't
this
make no
channel struck.
sense.
We don't do gas meters over here.
Thank you.
Unless
Thank
somebody's been
you.
formally convicted, not just charged,
Yes.
but formally convicted, we don't
Yes.
make those assumptions and allegations over here. So you
Absolutely.
may want to take your gas and your flames and your torch back over there where they're
That's
getting
it.
struck at.
all of that's tolerated. All of that's used on the
Yes.
stage.
So quite
We don't do
obvious,
that
she's
over
saying
here.
that she don't know what's going. Quite obvious, she don't know what's going on because I'm pretty sure if they found this man AB, nowhere in the world that they would have gave him 50-50 custody.
But
No,
if you're the kind of mother that thought that, if for example, my kids went to see their dad, I'm not going to get it, keep y'all all day with it. They allege that, my daughter and the partner in question at that time, she pushed my daughter's head. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. When my oldest got home, I contacted the authorities and
Hmm.
they went and investigated it because they were like, if you touch this child without each parent's permission, then I had the right and Kurt had the right to prosecute. Now it came out because I didn't want the father to be around because a lot of times kids have a certain fear about their dad. They came and interviewed my daughter at my house and she admitted
Hmm.
that she wasn't being truthful.
Hmm.
But because I thought that something went on, I had CPS investigate. They
Hmm.
came out and talked to her.
Yes. Yes.
So if
And
you were
also,
any kind of mother, have your kids talk to the authorities.
Little John said you are a women agreement with your husband being a Martell. That is not right. That is not so. And first of all, like I said, these people chose to put their life on display for the world to go ahead and pick it apart. And we wouldn't let it get that far. Nowhere in the world I would have
Mhm.
my man in a relationship for 10 years and didn't know unless I was sitting there clout chasing myself. Okay.
Exactly. And like I said, if you're any kind of parent, I wouldn't continue to send my kids somewhere for a whole 7 days and allege abuse. I would want to get to the bottom of it.
and
That's
another
it. That's
thing,
it.
Martell is an individual. Our husbands could never be Martell. Each
No,
Yeah,
not at all.
human being
that's
is an
it.
individual. So therefore,
Let me
our
look. I said I wasn't gonna play this right here. Let me play this right here, okay? And
okay,
Yes,
this right
ma'am.
here is for because since they asking these questions right here, and guys, make sure you go ahead and order this book, okay?
Okay.
But
is
already
it
had put up the copyright.
is
Let
there
me
an audio
see.
version of this book or is it paperback?
I'm
It
getting the
should be
book.
both.
I'm gonna go ahead and get the book.
Okay,
But
audio
let me
version.
go ahead and okay, I already had put up the copyright. I'm gonna make sure. Let me play a little bit of this right here, okay?
Cheat on me or walk out
Well,
on
see,
me.
that's what I'm saying. We have to get into definition. Who told us that was cheating? Where did that idea come from that that's cheating? And I'm not saying that a lot of men are not just running around. I'm not talking about that. But if a woman finds out that her man has been with a woman while she's been with him for 3 or 4 or 5 years, that's a serious commitment and relationship. And if it hasn't taken anything from me, if I'm not going short of anything, and if this is what he thinks his responsibility is, then what kind of hell are you going to go through to prevent that? Since we cannot stop him, we have not been successful. The white woman has not been successful in stopping the white man from having another woman. They call them a mistress. We pick up a lot of that terminology. But a man who has 2 women, that's not necessarily a mistress. That's just his other woman.
What? Let's stop it right here. Did y'all
Exactly.
hear what she said? And
Loud and
like I
clear.
said, loud and clear. And then the thing about it is Melanie said nothing was missing out of her house. Melanie said she saw no signs. Martell brought her flowers, pulled the chair out. He wasn't abusive. She said all that.
Now,
So
logical,
quite obvious, she had to been what you call that a sister
aware.
wife. A sister wife. She had to been aware of all
But
that.
you know what, Lady D and Miss Logical, remember on the season 4 reunion, I may be incorrect, when she said that people have spouses and they cheat for years and nobody knows, and she called it
Hmm.
cheating respectfully.
Respectful
Yeah,
cheating.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's called
yeah.
Well,
She
respectful.
knew. She
so,
knew.
right.
Say
She
it
just
again.
felt
You
like he
broke
should have
up.
been more
Say it again.
respectful of him.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
Nicole.
On season on season 4 reunion, right? It was season 4's reunion. And she stated on the reunion stage that some spouses have women that live across town for years. And,
Hmm.
the woman will never know. And so she called it cheating respectfully.
Hmm.
Right.
So to me, what she was saying is that he should have been more respectful about it, or she should have never known about it. And I agree. If you're married and that man has respect for you and he's not trying to hurt you, then he can do it and nobody would know for years.
That's
Absolutely.
it.
I
I
agree.
think she knew. Melody had to
Especially if
know.
you
She
him.
knew.
It's just
She went and
I
sat at
think
the girl
Melody had.
house.
Yeah, I think Melody, which what happened, and like I said, this is our opinion, okay? And to us, it's for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. But I think that Melody, she had checked out because we remember when Martell was saying when he was coming home, no food, he had to bathe the kids, help the children with their homework, and
Hmm.
wash their clothes, and she had checked out. Melody said that when she want peace, what she say she do? She go and she get a hotel. Most
Right,
people, like my friends say, when they want peace, they go and take a bubble bath, right?
right.
So who in the heck, what mother that is going to go and get her a hotel for her peace, knowing she got small children? Make it make
Exactly.
sense.
And
Absolutely.
that don't take the kids with them, but people can make judgments all day long. But my whole point is this, I just have a problem with, you know, uh, it's okay to hold him to a higher standard while the other
Absolutely.
person is right all the time. That's
Right.
not fair.
Yes, absolutely. And
And that's
Janet Johnson said, you guys didn't, and you can take a crack at this, Lodge, okay?
okay.
Uh, Johnson said, you guys did not listen to Melody before. You guys are not practical. Melody told him to stop. He said he would, and he does. I don't know what she meant. Dummies listened to the whole story. He had been cheating with others. Well, like I said, she chose to still put that on
Hmm.
a reality reality show. So however people go ahead and pick it apart, then you cannot get mad because Melody could have kept all that to herself. Even Martell said Melody could have kept it all to herself. Melody put her business out and she made a reality show out of it. So quite obvious, this is the nature of the beast. Go ahead, Lodge.
Um, where she says you guys did not listen to Melody before. I don't have to listen to Melody, but
Mhm.
of course, I don't have to listen and absorb all the crap that comes out of her mouth. I can see. Oh, I'm not practical. Yeah, I think I am because I'm going based on what I see. That she says she told Melody told him to stop. He said he would, and here's the thing: if Melody asked him to stop seeing Arionne, he said he would and he didn't. Then she did what she was supposed to do:
Mhm.
divorce him and move on.
But she didn't.
But she did
But
not.
she stayed. Now they get on Tisha for staying with Marcel when he allegedly cheats, according to the Melometers. I don't think he does. Ain't nobody surface. But my
No,
whole thing is, it's not okay for Tisha to stay, but it was okay for Melody to stay.
And then the thing about it, she says she's a strong woman. Didn't Melody
Right.
say she's a strong woman? Tisha need to
girl,
sit there and take her advice. How the heck you gonna stay in a strong woman? You gonna say you're a strong woman, but you stayed in your marriage the
Exactly.
entire time until you came on this reality show. Make it make sense.
Like Tisha said, and had another baby. When you knew what
Absolutely.
was going on at the Galentine's event, Tisha called her out. You stayed and had a whole nother baby with somebody who you knew was cheating. You see what I'm saying? So Tisha was like, bring me proof.
so
Absolutely.
who's the idiot? You
Thank
know,
you.
Tisha has no proof.
Exactly.
No proof. No one popped out with no babies or popped up.
No.
I've been with your man. Here's the pictures. He's at my
Right.
house. He bought me a car. None of that. Who's the
Exactly.
real idiot? She
Absolutely.
stayed with
Exactly.
Marcel after all of that. The girl came out and said, I'm his woman.
Right.
Came out to, she had a matching BMW. The
Mm-hmm.
girl basically
Absolutely.
came on social media and explained or presented their whole, intimacy
But
between
did
her
Funky Dineva go looking for her? No. This
No.
person, according to Tisha, at the end of season one, there's an alleged cast member that was contacting bloggers and giving them information, showing where, the image of Tisha and Marcel's place of residence and showing images of said individual. Now, I don't know if it's true, but like I said, I'm a black and white thinker, and that a lot of times my mom said that's my problem. I don't see any gray areas.
Mhm.
My whole thing is they don't have press following these people around. They're not
Hmm.
important enough. So how else are the content creators getting information?
She's giving
Gas meters, explain that to me. How else are
Hmm.
the cast members getting information? Are the
Absolutely.
content creators getting information?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Soul of Matter says, this is what she said. But Melody did not want to be in a relationship with her husband and another woman. So eventually she left. She did give him a chance after. That is not true.
She
That
still
is not
stayed.
true. She stayed.
Right.
Melody stayed.
Mhm. Competing with the other woman. Like
Thank
a lot of
you.
women do, because that shows you she's not perfect. She stayed
Hmm.
thinking her husband would eventually stop because she wanted him to. He
Hmm.
told her, I'm not prepared to choose, basically. So
right.
when he decided he wasn't going to make a choice, she left. That was her decision. But in between, in the interim, she still stayed knowing that this was going on and decided to have another baby. Then the other
Hmm.
woman got pregnant too. They were competing with each other.
And didn't she go to Arionne's house and sit and talk to Arionne
Mm-hmm.
and her mother? So she
Mm-hmm.
knew what she was
Right.
doing is trying to get a storyline because just like I said, I think that Melody already had checked out that relationship because nowhere in the world, she would have stayed in there. I think she would have stayed even if, all the stuff that she know today, if they wouldn't have never went ahead and pushed this reality show. And no, Soul, I am not a sister wife, okay?
Neither.
I am not a
Like I said,
sister
I
wife.
had a relationship where my spouse was in another state, his spouse was in another state. Both of them said, his spouse left him for another woman. His pride got hurt. He wasn't going to put up with it. So she filed for divorce. But I never contacted her. She contacted me, asking me what the nature of the relationship was. He said, well, we're about to get divorced. So what difference does it make? You see what I'm saying? And then I divorced subsequently, I think maybe 3 years later, because the only reason we stayed married, my ex-husband didn't want the white man in his business. So he felt like, look, let's file for legal separation so we won't be responsible for incurring each other's debt. But he didn't want to file for divorce because he didn't want a child support order. My ex-husband felt like that made him look bad. So
Absolutely.
he was like, I don't need the white man in my business. I'll send you this amount per month and you make it from that. And it wasn't a lot. I mean, you got 3 kids on $600 a month. That basically went to food and the utility bill. But, God, I raised my kids and they weren't ones to get in trouble or anything. So we did our best. But he really felt like my ex-husband, he didn't want the white man in his business. But with that being said, I knew that he lived with another woman in Arizona. I knew that she had children with him.
Okay, guys, look, we got 9. We only got 10 people that went ahead and hit like. If you are watching this video, guys, whether you like it or not, go ahead and make sure you go ahead and hit like. Even if you got to hit the dislike, just hit anyone, because like I said, we all have the right to agree to disagree.
Wives know.
Yes. So let's go ahead and play a little more. Let's play a little more because and make sure you guys go and get this book, Shahrazad Ali. Make sure you go ahead and get this book, and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna comb through all this right here. Like I said, it may not be for me, and it may not be for you, but quite obvious somebody must have liked it. They stayed in it, right?
Absolutely.
Now we got 2 choices.
Exactly.
We can be the woman or the other woman. We don't have but those 2. Now I know we don't like that. I don't like that. But that's the reality.
That's the reality. You see what I'm saying? You got 2 choices. Either you in or you out. If you don't like it, then leave. Why she didn't leave? Why she didn't leave? Why she stayed in?
Exactly. And I was raised primarily by my grandmother because my parents worked all the time. And my whole thing was, my grandmother told me before she left this earth, as long as he's taking care of what he needs to take care of at home, like you were saying, Lady D, you and Miss Logic, when I first started listening to you, I wasn't going to make it easy for somebody else to come in and damage a home that I established.
Absolutely.
Even when he moved to another state, he was making very good money. So, and then when he got injured on his job, she was paying his child support. So why wouldn't I be nice to her? Why would I start strife and an argument with her when she was paying to help and take care of my kids?
Yep. Janet Johnson said this is against God. Like I said, who to say that is not? We have to learn to do our own research. That's it. We have to learn to do our research. A lot of stuff,
and people picking up torches is against God. Sorry, Lady D.
A lot of stuff that we was taught, that was abomination, was a sin. Maybe it not be. You got to realize where we are. So
exactly. Picking up baseball
don't take their word. Yes, taking your, you just can't just take their word. Do your research, and you would know who we are. We don't even know who we are, and we don't want to take the time to get to know who we are. I hear feedback, guys. Also, it says Little Jones says, how about the tape that Martell shared with the other woman of him and Melody in a very intimate act? That tape was not released.
There is no tape.
He was not. No tape.
He was not charged with distributing private images, which that falls under those intimate tapes in the state of Alabama. I gave the actual penal statute. He was charged with DB3, which was harassing communication. So please don't come over here and get, her in issue with YouTube. He was never charged with distributing private images. That's what it is under Alabama law. That has nothing to do with DB3. Those are 2 separate charges.
Where they getting this information from? These people need to stop that they're running with these lies.
Exactly. He was never charged with that.
Yes, go. Letty Little John about the tape. Okay. The tape was made while they were married. Now, here's the problem I have. If you take pictures of yourself or make a tape with a person, even if it's your husband, y'all break up 5 years later, it's a possibility somebody might see that
Hmm.
tape. My suggestion is don't make one.
That's
I
it.
agree. I agree.
I would never do it with husband
I
or
agree.
or nobody.
Okay, soul of the matter. First of all, we don't know these people from a can of paint. We only giving our opinion. Don't come in here and call nobody stupid over a reality show. And for that, you are blocked. Okay, we don't have this garbage over here. Okay,
Gas
so
meters,
you are
y'all
dismissed.
dog people out for
You
coming to
are
y'all channel.
dismissed.
You
I
gang
don't
up on
care.
people and call them names, but you
That's
feel
it.
like you can disrespect Miss Lady D over here.
Not
That's what
here.
I don't like her. That's exactly why I don't like her fans. Everything they do is perfect and right and
Not here.
justified.
And you have a right to sit there and say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to stop you because to me, at the end of the day, it is a reality show for entertainment
Right.
purposes only.
Yes,
But don't
ma'am.
get personal with me. Don't start attacking us, off of these people. They put their business out. These people are getting paid.
Well, I call
Exactly.
all the time, so it don't
But
bother me.
that's my problem, man. They always feel like they can come and bully and harass people
Not
everywhere.
here.
If you know we feel this way, you come and listen for what? I don't go over to y'all channels and get in the chat. I do listen to
I
see
don't
what
go
you're
to none
saying.
of them. I
But
don't
you
go to
don't,
none of
Lady D
them.
don't go to any of them. I have to be the one, or Logical's the one to tell her what's going on.
Right.
First of
Thank
all.
you.
Secondly, if we come over to your channels and
I'm
your
not
chats,
gonna
you
call
cyberbully people.
yeah, I'm not gonna call them stupid. I call them stupid on this channel.
Yeah,
Yeah. Say,
exactly.
Other
say
channels
whatever you want
call
to
them
say,
stupid.
guys, but keep it directly to these people.
Exactly.
Don't make
That's
it
that's
personal.
why
Don't
they getting
call
struck
nobody
over
no
there anyway.
stupid.
They're
That's
gonna be
why they getting struck over there anyway because they
Yeah,
can't keep it to strictly about the show. They have to dig up people's credit and find out about their loans and calling expos on live and rather calling hotels on live. That's some sick, crazy
yeah.
stuff.
It's
Who
yes,
does that?
yeah.
it's
Let
stupid.
it. Let John say we are still not answering the question. I said it was you. Let me see who she's talking about. I did not say he was charged. It's a feedback, guys. I hear feedback,
Let me
a
turn my
TV or something.
let me turn my mic down. It might be all the way up. Okay, I
Uh,
turned it down. I'm sorry.
Okay, let it. Oh yeah, it was yours because I don't hear it no more. Let it. Little John says the oldest child is old enough to know what the woman has said very bad. That's about their mother. This is not fair that they have to go around this person, especially the oldest girl. These people, when I saw them at the birthday party, and they look like they got along with Arionne. It's just the fans. You guys are putting something into all this. That's not these children going to be around people that they know that they getting fed. Their homework is done, just like Martell said that when it comes to Arionne, she's a good mom. Her daughter is on an honor
Right.
roll straight A student, so I don't think that she's doing anything to these children. It's just
But if
you
the
guys
mother
just
feels
can't
like they're
accept
in
what's going
danger,
on. That's what I
if the
think.
mother feels like they're in danger when they come home, then the
Yeah,
parent should contact the authorities at CPS and let a
absolutely.
social worker come out and interview them, take that report to court so they can in turn get full custody if they feel like their
Absolutely.
kids are in danger. I wouldn't let it
Absolutely.
leak to the sun. I wouldn't let it go to the court. I'd let the police, CPS, and the police find out first. Once
That's
I
it.
get an official report, then I would take it to court if I
That's
felt like
it.
my kids were really in danger.
You're
Well,
not going to take it to social media, would you? Or
No,
to the press? You're going to take it to
n-
the court.
my
So if
exactly.
all this stuff is going on of what Letty Little John said, why did it get to the fans? Why it's not getting to the court to make it make sense?
well, Miss
Or a formal report. Let's get
Absolutely.
logical, Miss.
You go ahead, Lodge.
I don't want to interrupt y'all, but to answer
Like,
Little John.
said individual did, and the other party still has visitation. If
Hold
you
on,
want to stop visitation, let the authorities talk to the kids. You said your son already talked to him. He didn't get to see him for 56 days, and the court still found in favor for him to visit his kids after those
Absolutely.
56 days, right?
Let's hear what
okay, Nicole.
Logical said. Go ahead, Lodge.
Already Little John saying something about the older child being old enough to see everything, the tapes, all of the correspondence on YouTube. You have to blame that on her mother
Right,
Mm-hmm.
because her mother brought everything out. They could have kept this inside of their home,
exactly.
put it
Absolutely.
in their home, and just on the social media and on the show. They could have focused on business and not their personal life. So if the
Absolutely.
children, which all of the children, not only the oldest, all four of the children at some
Exactly.
point are going to be able to see everything and read everything. And
Hmm.
their mother brought it to the light. What did she think
Hmm.
was going to happen when she brought
Thank
everything
you.
out? And only
Exactly.
her side was going to be exposed, and then she didn't know this girl was going to come out and put everything out. She took that chance.
Well,
That's
this
Absolutely.
lady right here, Lady D, saying he deleted the tape. That's why I said those millimeters are full of gas. He
Hmm.
deleted the tape. Then there is no tape. If there was a tape, he'd have been prosecuted for a tape by now. You just said he deleted the tape. Said tape, alleged tape.
Ariane didn't. Tasha K. Martell didn't say that Ariane saw a tape. Martell
Mm-mm.
said that Ariane saw a picture
Right.
when she went in his phone without his permission. He said he deleted the tape. He didn't say he deleted the tape. He said it
He
was
sure
picture.
didn't.
It was a picture.
Right. And if he
Yeah.
has not been charged with distributing private images, that's where RP would fall under in the state of Alabama. He was charged with domestic violence 3, which is harassing or threatening no, harassing or threatening verbal uh uh um allegations. They allege that he harassed and verbally assaulted her. It had
Hmm.
nothing to do with anything physical or anything illicit or explicit. Those are two separate charges. I listed the penal charges on Lady D's comments if you want to go look at one of her old videos. Those are two
Hmm.
separate charges. DB3 has nothing to do with distributing private images in the state of Alabama.
he
And it's
never
also on my community tab. So go ahead and check it out. So
he
all that
never
is on my
released
community
a tape.
tab. Go ahead, Lodge. Lodge.
Martell never released a video or a picture. He sent her one photograph asking her to stop harassing him, or he would
Absolutely.
distribute the photograph,
Hmm.
which he never did. Nobody has
No.
seen it. Now, none of her fans. She saw it, but nobody else.
Right.
Hmm.
And Ariana,
If there was, I'm not even gonna have any of them strike the channel based on that. I'm gonna say that there was never any. It could have just been a text messages with him threatening verbally to release any pictures. I don't even
Hmm.
think he sent her a picture because she would have ran with that all the way to the police station with that and still
or
been talking
could,
about it if he even released anything visual. I don't even think he did that. I think he might have threatened to,
Hmm.
but again, it wasn't recorded. So we don't really know what was said, but these fans only concentrate on that. You see how they try to deflect the
Hmm.
torch in the baseball bat? They always bring it back to the tape. They never touch the baseball bat. They never
Hmm.
touch the torch. You notice that, Lady D and Logical?
Never,
They always go
never,
back to the tape.
well,
never.
one thing is for sure, they are going to be pulling out hairs, throwing all kinds of tantrums when this is settled in court and
Hmm.
nothing materializes from it for him.
Right.
You know, and now here's the thing: the videos that he did release of her acting like a wild maniac, uh, spreading lighter fluid all over uh, the sofa, the house, and destroying property, that might cause her to get a few charges that she don't like. It should. If I was his lawyer, I would
Hmm.
present that in this case when they go to court. I would present those videos of her acting like
And I would request an evaluation as well, just to make sure that my kids wouldn't be around somebody that was that volatile. Just like
Mhm.
one parent can request, any kind of evaluation, the other parent can too.
Well, one thing is for sure, she's not gonna want the evidence or the court documents to be released, but he's gonna release them.
Mhm.
I agree.
He's gonna let,
But
just like he did with those other documents. He's gonna make sure that they get out.
Absolutely. T. Jones. T.
absolutely,
Jones say Ariane would have leaked that if it was a video.
I agree. But I
Ariane
don't
would have
think
leaked
so.
that.
I don't think so. I really don't think she would have done that.
I don't think she would have done, but I'm just
No,
saying, I'm just talking in
right.
general.
In
If
general, yeah.
it was some tape, it would have been them fans would have gotten that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely.
Them
He,
fans
But
would have
look,
gotten that.
and he
that image on the right side that you have, that I cannot get that out of my mind. And like
Me
I said, her
either.
fans can't either, because they never talk about that. They
And they
never
not.
say she was right for that. They always take it back to this tape. They always skip over baseball bats and lighter fluid. They never touch that. I've listened on other channels. They don't even talk about that.
when they
And
go
that's
to court,
criminal. That is actually criminal.
It is.
We asked Miss Judy about that, and Miss Judy just laughed about it. You remember?
yes, they did. Well, they won't be laughing
I
about it
bet.
in
Hmm.
court.
They ain't gonna laugh when the DA take over it.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. They gonna
Because
have
I'm pretty sure when Martell go to court, he gonna bring that out, right?
I hope he does. I hope he does. And the only reason I say that is because you're going, or it's being leaked to papers, main media outlets, that you requested an evaluation. But how could you even do that after this? And if you felt like they were being abused, or excuse me, mistreated, contact the authorities, and let the
Absolutely.
authorities take the kids away from each parent into a private space and talk directly to the kids
And I'm pretty
and
sure
see if this
during
is going
custody
on.
battle, they did. They talked to the kids. Even
Right.
Martell stayed on Tasha K that the kids got videotapes themselves on their cell phone. Them kids know what was going on. That's why they
Right.
related all that stuff back to their father. But
Exactly.
Letty said that Lady D, please take a listen to OSNC. What is that?
Original straight no chaser.
What is who is that?
That's a blogger that has
Oh
a
my
lot of
God.
audio tapes.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
she's been disproven
I
years
hear a
ago.
feedback, guys. I got these earphones
Let me turn
on
it
and I
down.
hear a feedback and it's yeah,
Can you still
okay.
hear it?
Say something.
Can you still hear it?
I don't hear it anymore.
No, I don't hear it no more. A
Okay.
little bit. I could hear a
My
little
phone
bit.
turned up too loud. I'm so
Hmm.
sorry, ladies. I probably had it turned up
Yeah,
too loud. I
yeah.
apologize. But yeah, she's been disproven. That particular uh you know uh
Hmm.
blogger has been, disproven many times, because the reason why I don't listen to her is because years ago she claimed she had concrete evidence of said individual's marital infidelities regarding the Scots, and nothing ever came of it. Nothing ever came of it. She claimed she had all this evidence, that
Hmm.
particular blogger, and nothing came of it. She had pictures and she had this and that, and all of it was disproven. She could never
Hmm.
produce any evidence that Mr.
Hmm.
Scott was doing anything wrong in his marriage.
Wow.
But, yeah, I
So
go
I don't listen to her.
and listen to her every now, but
Hmm.
I don't bank on nothing she say. I know what she doing. She has a pretty nice size fan base, and she's entertaining them. You know,
Hmm.
Yeah.
you know, I don't give her no credit for being
Me either. She's been
Well,
disproven so many times.
right.
and like I said in here, yes, I want the clicks and the likes, but I'm not gonna sell my soul over it.
Me
In
either.
here, I'm gonna stand on my truth. I'm gonna call it like it is.
Exactly. That's why I respect you guys so much, because again, like I said, all you see over there is deflection. There are certain things they don't touch over there. And she's
Right.
always right. I don't care what she does, how much lighter fluid she has in her hand. She can have 10 baseball bats and she's going
Mhm.
to be right over there.
They so focused on Arionne seeing this tape. Who cares?
Right.
You know
Hmm.
what they need to focus on is their favorite in that doggone lighter fluid can. That's what they need to be focused on.
Exactly.
Yes. Or they're gonna sweep
Exactly.
that under the rug.
Oh yeah. Like they do everything else. Same thing, they sweep under the rug about all the nasty remarks she makes about
Hmm.
different people, on that show to them or around them. It's everything she says it's okay. Everything she
Hmm.
says, or like when you tell your fan base to contact people's employer and report them based on what, and you tell your fans this outright,
Hmm.
and you tell your fans to unsubscribe to an individual that doesn't support you. That's almost
Hmm.
cult like.
Well, ladies,
Marcia says she sent the pictures to her lawyer.
mhm,
That's why he was picked up for DV communication. He was sent for evaluation because he never completed the evaluation with their son Tank.
I can't wait
Well, a
to go
picture, yeah,
sit
a picture.
down
But
with his lawyer and see what
yo, I feel lawyer Micah down a little bit more, Nicole.
Okay.
Hmm.
But ladies, one thing is for sure. The cast is on the right track now. They striking them left and right. So they
Yes.
cannot make no money off of dogging out the cast anymore or Martell.
Hmm.
Because Martell has been striking them too.
Yes.
Exactly. I
So
agree.
that's the important thing, you know.
But
Hmm.
you need to research the law in the state of Alabama. DB communication is communication. It would not fall under any kind of image. Images fall under distributing private images. And as far as the evaluation goes, he might not, whether he completed it or not, I'm not going to discuss that on this channel in particular. All I can say is that he has the right to request an evaluation based on the image that you see on the right, just
Hmm.
like she has the right to request an evaluation. Both parents do.
And he
So,
should.
but
Hmm.
I'm not going to discuss, minor children and evaluations because that's strictly a court. That's private information that strictly should be done with the courts. But you guys wonder why you're getting struck over and over and over again because you're alleging things and you're talking about things that you don't have any concrete evidence that these individuals have been convicted of.
But we show see
Absolutely.
one that someone should be convicted of,
On the
and
right,
that is
I
that is
agree.
not a misdemeanor. That is a
Not at
felony.
all.
I just want to know where the children was because Martell never came out and said that the children was around, right?
Right.
Where
He
was the
never
children?
clarified. Yeah, I would like to know that as well because both parents were there. So it's safe to assume that the kids were somewhere around. I'm assuming that. I'm alleging that, but I don't know for sure.
Hmm.
But again, like I said, it's amazing how, everybody wants to bring up the other woman, the current charge. They want to bring up, people's medical information, but they don't want to bring up baseball bats, torches, things of
And
that nature.
golf clubs.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And her image has been systematically, tainted because any
Hmm.
sensible person cannot get that out of their mind, and she's not dumb, she knows that. So all of a
Hmm.
sudden her request for Martell to be medically examined is leaked to the sun, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, like I said, after all that, she's like, well, on her get back, well, I'm going to go ahead and try to make this person look unstable. But
Hmm.
if you have common sense, you will see that the only one you can pinpoint unstable behavior is to your right. I've
Yeah.
never
But
seen
the thing
Martell with anything like that.
I don't understand why Carlos King or someone come out and talk about how she was trying to alive Martell in that house, and herself. Why nobody? That was DV. That was actually DV. That's caught on
And
tape.
throwing a glass at somebody is DV.
And
We
then they
saw
say
that.
she threw a knife. Then they say she threw a knife, and I'm gonna say allegedly because I didn't see
Mhm.
that, but they say she
Right.
threw a knife in a wall.
Yeah. And a lot
So
more.
look
Hmm.
like if it was Martell, he would have lost all his endorsements and everything. And I don't
Hmm.
understand why they are allowing this to, and nobody's talking about this. They still talking about the RP.
It's her fans. Her fans.
Right. Those are her fans. There was no RP. Right.
And here's the thing. when I checked last, which was a couple of days ago, 221,000 people watched his interview with Tasha K.
Wow.
221,000 people, and that was on YouTube. So
Right.
I
Exactly.
watched it on her private channel. I watched it on YouTube. So I'm one of those
Hmm.
21,000 people. But that's a lot of people.
Right. It is.
Everybody is not seeing her as a victim.
Mm-hmm.
No.
After watching that video and seeing this lighter fluid deal and the baseball at bat in the golf club,
Right.
not viewed as a perfect little angel anymore.
Oh,
200,
so they calling.
Especially
Oh, so what you're saying? They calling her out now, Lodge?
we're calling her out. Out of the
What about people now after they seeing all this stuff is going on?
Well, it's a lot of people that felt like she was out of control. She was wrong for doing it.
Okay, good,
you had
good.
a girl on your panel, I think the second or third time that I was on your page, and she was saying that she used to, support this said individual and she doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
Yep, she sure did.
Now, how many out of the 221,000 that saw that
Mm-hmm.
video, saw this crap with the lighter fluid and baseball bat and golf club? How many people do you think she lost out of that 221,000 people?
Well,
Oh,
now you know this wrong. What Little John said. She said, "I don't believe her image is tainted because of for every action there is a reaction." So you trying to say it's a feedback, guys?
It's turn my mic
So
down.
you trying to say that it's okay for this woman to uh light this well put gasoline in this man's house on his sofa and his floor? You trying to
Letty,
say
people
every
that are
action is a
provoked go to jail
reaction?
too. People that are
Oh
provoked go
my
to jail,
God,
just like there are ones that aren't
unbelievable.
provoked. They go to jail too.
Unbelievable.
I'm
Just
gonna
because you're provoked doesn't exempt you from criminal prosecution.
ask Miss Letty Littlejohn if her ex came in her house and sprayed lighter fluid all over her house and her furniture, took a baseball bat to her car and wall, threw a knife and lodged it in the wall. Would that person's image be tainted if it was her
Well,
doing?
Melody's perfect. She's the female, messiah. So whatever
Wow.
she does is right,
So it's
according to
so it's
the gas
okay
meter.
for Melody to pour gasoline on this man's couch and throw glasses at this man's head in somebody else's house. She showed how aggressive she is, and
She
she
sure
even
did.
admitted. But you guys
Right.
are still giving her a pass.
I'm asking Miss Littlejohn. I'm waiting on the answer from her. Would it be okay for her ex or her current
She said she will
in her
call the
house to spray
police.
black fluid all over her sofa and floors? Would that be okay?
Right. Exactly.
Take a baseball bat to her car and hit
You would
hers.
call the police.
Oh,
Right. So Martell has the right to show this footage to his lawyer who can take it to the DA, which is in charge of prosecution, I'm assuming, number one. And number two, if you would call the police, why is Martell not within his right to call?
absolutely.
Hmm.
If this lady, Miss Littlejohn, says she would call the police, so therefore she feels like it wouldn't be right for this person to come in her house and do what that person did in his house. You're saying it's
Exactly.
not right because she would call the police. So how is it
But
right?
it's not okay for Martell to call.
Yeah, it's not okay for Martell to call the police.
Right.
It's
Hmm.
okay for her to do it, but it's not okay
Exactly.
for Miss Littlejohn's current or past to do it to her.
Right.
I think so.
Hmm.
And that's my problem with that fan base. Everything she does is okay. Whatever other people do is not. For example, she's having something, I don't know what it is, but some kind of event. Now, if I were to call on your live to question the event and question, the ticket amount and question the location, oh, they would be doing 24-hour lives about that. But it's okay to do
Absolutely.
that to the Scots.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Miss Littlejohn said, no, it's not okay. So it's not okay for her, for it to happen to her, but it's okay for it to happen to Martell.
I
Right.
guess it's like
Because
she's talking.
oh no, baby, it don't work like that.
Right.
If
Not over here.
it happened to you, it's not okay for it to happen to her. It's
Not at all. Not at all. But that's my whole thing. It's okay for them to contact, and try to, dispute the Scots. and everything like that. It's okay for people to call and dig into their venue or investigate their venue, but let somebody do that to her event and call and
Thank
question
you.
her event and the ticket prices and the location. Oh, you wouldn't hear the end of it. They be talking about it till Jesus came back for real.
And
And
you
it's
know
okay
it.
for them to do it to the Scots, but it's not okay.
And the same thing, oh, they copied the event. If this, and I've been wanting to say this, and thank you, Lady D, for letting me say this. If you go into an agreement to collaborate with someone and you decide that you don't want to do that anymore, it doesn't mean you're copying anybody, or it doesn't mean you've done someone wrong. If you decide you don't want to collaborate with any individual, that's your right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, all three of us could decide to jointly do a Black Expo. And
Hmm.
Yes,
then
ma'am.
later on, 6 months down the line, Lady D decides, well, I don't want to do this with Logical. I'm just going to do it with Nicole.
Hmm.
The two of us are
We
going to do
wouldn't
it.
do that though.
I have no claim. I have no right to say, oh, we were supposed to do it together. You guys have a right to do it together and exclude me.
Well,
Absolutely.
Judy, why do you think Melody does no wrong? And her and it's okay. Her image wasn't tainted by holding looking at that picture to your right. And even if Martell's interview backfired, I think her reunion presence backfired. And it's
Hmm.
unstable, in my opinion, to try to light or using any flammable fluid in the house.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So,
That's criminal.
right.
Everyone
So I'm
knows
answering your question, Miss Judy, and I'm trying to be respectful, ma'am. But it really baffles me how Melody is the only perfect person I know on earth. Everything she
Hmm.
does is right. Everything. Both people were wrong. Anytime there's a marriage, people are gonna do wrong because nobody's perfect. But to me, if you have 4 children and you're trying to light a house up, your image has been
Wow.
tainted. People aren't gonna look at you the same way.
That's it.
everyone knows Martell is unstable. Well, a whole lot of us know somebody else is unstable too.
That's really
Okay.
unstable. That's
Amen.
really unstable.
It's your bestie, baby.
Yeah. Come on. Let's do a mic check, guys. We're gonna do a mic check because it's not a good live if we hearing the noise.
Okay, you
Let's
gonna
do a
Yeah,
mic
I'm
check.
sorry about
Let me
that.
see who it is. I'm gonna mute yours, Nicole. Say,
Uh,
say something. Say something, Lodge.
can you hear me?
I hear you real good. That's Nicole. Nicole,
can you hear
hold
me?
on, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your mic, Nicole. Get your mic
Okay, let
together.
me turn it down. I'm so sorry, Lady D. I don't want to mess your
Mm-hmm.
live up, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I apologize, ma'am. But it's not right for them to abuse each other, Miss Rosser. I agree with you. But what I'm
No,
saying is one act doesn't justify the other. And
Absolutely.
if you are going to air that out on a show, then people are going to comment on it. And everybody's
hmm
not going to think that one person is perfect and the other person isn't.
Right.
absolutely,
Everybody has to be held accountable. If she's doing wrong, then she has to be held accountable for her wrongdoing as well as
absolutely.
Martell.
But this was
Hello?
criminal. That was criminal because,
That's my
I
point.
mean, she could have unalived everybody that was in that house, including
Yeah,
herself.
Exactly.
And
absolutely.
what about when she went to the Fletcher's home when she threw that glass? What
Yeah,
if
that
that
was
would have gotten in Martell's eyes?
exactly.
Now, if Martell would have took a glass and threw it in her face, I promise you, he would have never last on
Oh
that
God,
show.
everything
Right.
flips.
I agree.
So if it's not fair for
But
you,
like I
lady,
said, everything
it's
she
not fair
does
for
is perfect and they can justify anything she does. And it that's why I don't watch the show and I'm not part of her fan base. I sympathize, with what went on, but once you're aware of the situation, it's up to you whether you stay or not.
Mhm. And even if Martell pulled out a gun, Martell was defending himself. You don't know
absolutely.
Right.
what was on this lady's mind
Oh,
when she
she's
had
Allegedly.
a knife on, allegedly.
He was not charged with attempted murder. So, or excuse me, attempted assault. So please don't say that. That's my problem with that fan base. You
Mhm.
guys make all these statements and there's no basis in fact for it. He hasn't been
Mhm.
charged with that. Neither has she. But I can see what she should have been charged with. I can't allege that he should be charged with anything because I haven't seen it.
And I think if he did do anything, she would have made known. The
Of
court would not
course,
that
Oh
that would
yeah.
have been in the court documents, but
that would have been
nothing.
good TV. Forget a
Thank
court
you.
document. That would have been
Yeah,
good TV, right?
but you never
Because
heard
if you think
anything.
your kids are in danger, there's no way I'm going to send my kids anywhere for 7 whole days and 7 whole nights if I feel like they're in danger. I'm going to
That's
call
it.
the social worker to come over and talk to my kids individually and then take that
Mhm.
report to court. I'm not going to take it to the sun, or the social media. And
Right.
I'm certainly not going to, go to court with no and allege something like that with no basis in fact. And the best, uh, statements would be those that came from the kids, I would think.
Mhm. And if there is a police report about all this stuff right here, then somebody should have been arrested because we never knew all this stuff was going on until with Tasha case. So quite obvious, he was trying to cover up for his wife. He didn't want to see her in jail
He
because
still
first
gets
of all, if
visitation.
that yeah, if it was she did pulled it out, she pulled it out around his home.
Yeah.
And he still gets
That's
visitation
his home. Yes.
for 7 whole days. It hasn't been supervised visitation, and they've been going
Yeah.
back and forth to court for almost 2 years now. If I'm not mistaken, he still gets visitation for 7 whole days and seven whole
Mhm.
nights. It's
Absolutely.
unsupervised visitation. So if the
Well, look.
courts felt like there was any basis in fact, I mean, you can allege anything in court, but
Mhm.
unless it was proven and the court actually took action to prevent something from happening again, they wouldn't release the children for 7 whole days to the next parent.
And let it say, we are missing a lot of information. We are missing a lot of information. Fill us in. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link. Letty, you are absolutely you can come on. You can come on. You're welcome to come on.
Um, what is that? Marsha Roser says that most of all of this happened. They've been divorced 3.5 years, and people are having a problem with it because all of it's being brought up now. Oh, baby, DV. I mean, it can be brought up at any time. 5 years later, 2 years later, 3 years later, whenever he decided to bring it up. Ain't no timeline on it. Not in my opinion.
Hey guys, y'all can continue talking, okay? But the mic is messy. Nicole,
Can you
Nicole,
hear me?
yeah, your mic is screwed, girl. Oh, why don't you
Okay.
get out and come back in?
Okay. All right.
Lodge.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Wait, hold on. Let Nicole, because her mic is messed up.
Okay.
Let her get her mic
Go
together.
out and come back in.
You good. You good. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, Miss
Letty LaJohn say, I'm really enjoying the conversation. You are welcome to come on. If it's some information that we are missing, we only can go by of what they put out. Go ahead, Lodge.
Yeah, I wanted to say someone said, "Oh, her name is Marsha Rosa." It says, with all of that happening when they were divorcing, why didn't it show all of this during their divorce 3.5 years ago? Well, Martell has the right to present his evidence whenever he get ready. You know, he has a certain timeline. I mean, he probably didn't even want to present it. I wouldn't want to show my spouse acting like that. He probably felt like he had to, and he did when he felt like he needed to. 3.5 years after the divorce, now he's showing what happened to him in the garage and in the house with the lighter fluid. You know, he presented it when he felt like it was best. I would have presented it right away. As soon as they started dogging me out, I would have showed her in this light a long time ago. But he did it when he got ready.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
all in his time frame.
But the thing about it is that, you can't pick and choose. If you're gonna lay it on the table, lay it on the table, because the stuff that they are calling Martell on is a misdemeanor, and we already done put out, all the information. But what Melody did, and nobody's talking about it, that was criminal and it's caught on tape. And no way in the world that she can continue going on like as if nothing happened, because
Yeah.
we want to know, what made her go to that place of trying to set the entire house on fire and throw knives and throw glasses. To me, that's
Well,
I
she
would want to
said,
know. I want to know
remember,
about all this.
Lady
Where was the children?
they were outside, remember? Remember,
Yes.
it was said in the video she wanted him to transfer the $17,000 back to the account.
Mhm.
Uh, that's what, you know, the statements that were made. Transfer the money back to the joint account, which, a joint account, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, means that the money that's in the account is actually both of their money. Either one of them
Mhm.
can draw. They can take money out. They can put money in a joint account. A personal account is a different thing. That's my money. But when I had
Mhm.
a joint account with my husband, it was our account. He could pull out what he wanted. He could
Mhm.
pull it all out if he wanted to, and there would be nothing that I could do about it.
Yeah, but
It was
I
his account.
understand. My husband better not take no 17 thousand out my account. Oh, honey, it gonna be hell. You see what I'm saying? But like I say, it is. I'm glad it's them than us. You understand?
Yes, there was
But the thing about it is that Martell said that they had $150,000 in account, and she took that.
she took
And
all
you
of
saw how he was trying to be rational,
it.
and tell, calling her name, in the parking lot, and
Right,
he was rational. He didn't pull out no a lighter and try to
right.
lit the whole place on fire. I see Nicole say, "Lady D, thank you for having me on the panel, ma'am. My internet connection is very bad. It's a thunderstorm where I am, so I will stay in the chat, ma'am." Okay, okay, Nicole, and
Okay.
I'm glad to have you. You are welcome anytime. Anytime. And Sharon says that he also said that she didn't want to split the 150 with him. Yeah, let's talk about that, Lodge.
Yeah. I mean, they don't find anything wrong with that, which would have been 75,000 each. That would have been fair, but she didn't want to split that. We still today don't know if she split that money with him,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, was that in a joint account too? And she took it and put it in her personal account?
Most
We
likely she
don't know.
probably did.
Yeah, but a joint account is just that.
Nicole say, Laffa, agree, Lady D. I don't think you would set the house on fire. Oh my God. You
No,
take
definitely not.
17,000 on my account, honey.
No
Trust
way.
me. And
No.
then you gotta another woman. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
First of all, I
And
would have never let him with that for.
right, and then that was his house, his furniture. I would have
Yes.
done that
No,
because that's where
no,
my
I'm talking about them $17,000 out of that account.
okay, okay.
Shoot, my husband would have took $17,000 out of that account. Trust me.
So you would have got
Oh my
him, huh,
God.
girl?
Huh?
You would have got him, huh?
Oh my God. Would have.
Yeah, my husband took money out of our joint account whenever he got ready, as I did. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So then I acquired my own little personal account.
Yes.
So therefore, he didn't have access to my personal account. But the joint
Yes.
account, he can go in there and do whatever the heck he wanted to do. You know?
Well, the way that we have it set, where if anything that's over $500 is taken out of the account,
Hmm.
I'm going to get a notification.
Oh, okay, okay.
They're gonna text me because
Oh, okay.
we got it set where if you take that amount of money out of the account.
Yeah,
But still of all, they put their business out, guys. All this to us is for entertainment purpose only. You air it out, you are free game. But we just trying to let you guys see another side.
yeah. It cannot be one sided over here. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. If it was one sided, then I would have to be done. I'm going to point out her indiscretions, just like his indiscretions are on display. You know,
Hmm.
And when he's wrong, I don't mind saying he's wrong. And we both know he was wrong for cheating because he could have
Mhm.
divorced her and went on about his business.
Yeah, but it wasn't a crime.
No, it's not a crime. It's not a crime. But I can see her wrongdoings. I'm sorry that her fans can't, but they
Mhm.
see her, they idolize her. They're never going to see anything that she does wrong. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm not a person that idolizes human beings. I feel like we are all uh, sinful. We all make mistakes, and none of
Of
us is
course.
perfect, including
Y-
her.
That's it. Letty says, Lady D, now I like the honest you just said. You see?
I
That's
see.
all it's about,
I know.
guys. Nicole say exactly. We don't just take one side. All individuals, have the right to judge fairly and
Right.
comment on. Absolutely. We don't take this personal. We could sleep good at night, because
Absolutely.
it's their life. We looking from the outside in.
Absolutely.
And we only can say what they put out. But the thing about it, at the end of the day, it is a reality show, and they chose to put their personal life on display for the entire world to pick it apart.
Well, Lady D, she kind of chose to do it because I remember him stating, "We gonna keep our personal life in our house."
Martell say that.
Right? He did. He didn't want to put it
Hmm.
out, and she put it out. She wanted it out, I believe, for financial gain.
Hmm.
She knew it was gonna be a money maker because she also knew that women was gonna see her side and only be one sided and support her financially
Hmm.
and dog him. That's why she
Yeah.
put it out.
Could you answer that question with Marsha, what she said?
Marsha Roster says, "You are right. We want to know what happened before the picture was taken. We are just getting a picture and getting what he said. Melody hasn't said anything about the picture as of yet. I guess she's talking about the video.
Okay, so now they call it a picture because all the while they were saying it was a video.
Video. Well, it was a video or
Hmm.
a picture. All we see
Hmm.
is what she did. She hasn't come out and said anything about him swinging a bat at her. She hasn't come out and said, "Oh, he was swinging a golf club at me too," or
Hmm.
"He sprayed lighter fluid all over my car."
Hmm.
She hasn't said that. So all I
Yeah.
can go by is what I see.
And let it. I beg the different on that right there. But like I said, we have a opinion. Each one of us we have our own opinion. She said, I think she stayed because she really loved him and wanted her marriage. I really don't think that Melody. I think she had checked out. I think Melody had checked out. And
Hmm.
this is what I tell. I even told my daughter. When she got married, I say the way you go in,
Yeah.
a marriage is the way that you're going to keep a man. In the minute when you start changing, the man gonna start changing. Don't do what mama did. You see what I'm saying? When I went in mine, look, my husband to be 5 feet from me, and I'm calling his name to come get me this and come get me that. You understand?
Yeah.
That's how I went into that because, like I said, I was a child, right?
Right.
But the way that you go into a marriage is the same way that you're going to keep that man. And maybe she, said she was going to do this, she was going to do that. But as she was young and they got into business and they started growing and the money started coming in, she started being around, different people, and people change and he couldn't accept the change, and that right there, it put a damper on their relationship. But Martell said, when he out there, he come home and he had to do so many different things. She checked out, and it's just so much stuff, that had happened in that relationship. But how and why I blame Melody is because Melody, she knew all this stuff that was going on in her marriage, but she took it and she banked off it. That's where our whole Melody
Yeah.
at.
Well, she did gain financially.
And she
Also,
gained really good off it,
she got
you know?
big time. According to her fans, she a millionaire a couple of times over.
Yes.
Now, with me, 4 years in, my husband had an affair. A child was conceived out of that affair. 38, 40 years later, we
Mhm.
never divorced. We were separated here and there. When he
Mhm.
passed 2 years ago, we were still married. There were financial reasons that I stayed into my marriage. We had so many things, money. He was working good, making great money, paying bills.
Mhm.
He never neglected home, and I never caught him cheating again.
Mhm.
So hey, people stay for different reasons.
Yeah.
It
But
took
I
me a
think she had
long
checked.
time
I
to
think Melody checked out. I think she had checked out.
well, yeah, I mean, I mean, I don't know. Back in the day, women didn't leave a marriage just because. I mean, you have to look at the good and the bad, you know.
Mhm.
And my marriage wasn't that bad for me to leave because
Mhm.
of that mistake, you know.
And I think Melody would have stayed in too if she would have never pitched this reality show because he was taking care of her. Nothing was lacking,
Yeah, it was so
out of
close.
her household.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knew. Everybody knew long before I knew. All of his
Mhm.
family knew. All of his friends knew. I was probably the last one to know.
And to say how small Huntsville is, I truly
Hmm.
believe that Melody knew after, come on,
Yeah,
10 years, somebody been in your marriage and you didn't know.
right,
That
right.
right there, just like Funky the but this girl was clout chasing.
What?
Uh,
You have little, what do you call it, intuition. The late nights,
mhm,
staying out, but dressing different. You have little
mhm,
intuitions, but I didn't have anything concrete to fall on until the child was
yes,
conceived and born. And then that was
yes,
my proof because I wasn't going to look for it. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
But no, we never divorced. I mean, we talked about it. I asked him, "You want to get a divorce?" He said, "No, for what? I ain't gonna marry nobody else." He said, "You want a divorce?" No, ain't no sense of us divorcing. We ain't trying to marry nobody else. So when he
Mhm.
passed away, we were still husband and wife 2 years ago. So
Um. Look, we about to close it down because we didn't date our 2 hour mark. So let's go ahead and tackle this right here. Let us say it's okay to agree to disagree. Agree. There are many things we as Black women are told to just hang in there, no matter how unhappy we are. Absolutely, And the thing about it is that women stay in that home for so many different reasons. When a man check out, he checked out. He's gone. But when a woman stay in a home, knowing that the husband is cheating and all types of stuff is going on, she gonna stay in because she's trying to keep her family together.
right,
The children, she's going to wait all that out. And if a woman step out of their marriage, a woman is going to step out of a marriage, and I can speak because I'm a woman, like I said, we have a right to our opinion. But if we step out of our marriage, it's not because of sex. It's because the communication is something that's lacking in
absolutely.
that home. But when a man step out, it's because he after this woman was under her clothes. That's
You
how I
know,
look at it.
excuse me, lady. The one thing I learned in my incident, another person can never make you happy. You have
Hmm.
to make yourself happy.
That's it.
And you choose to be happy or unhappy. You make a choice. I made a choice to be happy.
Hmm. Bertha said you sound far off. But it's over with now. But she say you sound far off. Turn your mic up a little bit, even though it is off. But let's make sure we do a mic check here.
Okay, I'll turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, because we might come back on. Rest a little while, and we might come on at 6 o'clock here.
Okay, I did turn it up a little bit. I don't know if
See if you can turn it up a little more.
a little bit more.
Yes, turn it up some more. Let me hear it.
Okay. Okay, how's that?
Give me a thumbs up, Bertha. Let me know how it is.
How's that, Bertha?
Yeah. Put your mouth a little closer to the mic.
Okay, that could be the problem too. How about it now?
Say something.
Can she hear me?
Yeah. Cause I noticed the last video that you and I was on, it was kind of far off.
Yeah,
Cause
I had turned it down a little bit. I
yeah,
guess.
don't turn it down because this is a new mic, right?
Yeah, it's new.
Yeah, cause it sounded like it was far off.
Okay, how about
I th-
now?
yeah, I think it's a little, but it can go a little louder.
Oh wow. I think I
Mm.
gotta figure this thing out if it's not loud enough. I gotta figure it out and see.
Yeah. Just go and watch the video once we get off of this
Okay.
live right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear any background noises at all, but it
Okay.
does sounds like you far back.
Oh wow.
Thank you, Bertha. She say, not much better. She says it's not much better.
Oh, I gotta figure out what's going on. I'm gonna read the instructions because it is
Yes.
brand new.
And so, how far you are to the mic? You close to the mic?
Yeah, I'm right up on it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you right on it?
yeah.
She say that's a little better.
Okay, great, great, great.
Yeah, because I was watching a playback and it sounds like you was far off.
Oh, okay, great, great.
Yes.
You hear
So
me?
we're gonna go ahead and close it down because we done did 2 hours. I guess we'll just come on round about 6 or 7 o'clock.
Okay,
Most
seven
like
would
six
be
o'clock.
better. Seven,
Huh?
seven would be great for me.
Okay, well we'll come on at 7 o'clock.
Okay,
And we'll talk about do you want to talk about the Fletchers?
fine. Whatever you want to talk.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah, the
What you
flesh.
say?
Whatever you want to talk about. It's
Well,
great.
we'll just let it flow.
Okay, babe.
And get that mic together, Nicole Givens.
Uh,
All right, Lodge. Thank you here.
all right, dear. See you later.
Okay, see you tonight at 7. Okay, guys, look, we're gonna go ahead and close it down. We went ahead and did our 2 hour mark, logical, and see if Nicole gonna come on, and we might go ahead and open up the panel and we'll talk about it some more, guys. But thank you guys for coming in, supporting my channel, Real Talk with your girl, Lady D, unapologetic and non-biased. Guys, like I said, this right here is for entertainment purpose only. I do not know these people from a can of paint, okay? I only can go by of what they put out. You air it out, you are free game. Marsha Rouser, she said Martell and Melody was running a business together. They were taking care of each other. I think the disrespect for her side, women caused a lot of friction and didn't stop. My God, you might be right. And also, Nicole, thank you for coming in, girl, with all that tea, girl. Yes, indeed. Bertha Ramos, thank you for coming in. And also, who else? Who else? Well, it was a good bit that came in today. Letty, Little John, thank you for coming in. Guys, I like when you comment. Make sure whatever you want to talk about it. Long as we keep it on topic, don't take it personal. So, guys, on that note, I'm going and rest a little while. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go. Nicole said, "I will be back, ma'am. I hope my connection improved." Okay, girl. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close it down, and we will be back at 7 o'clock Central. So on that note, guys, you all enjoy the rest of your day.